Hey, today we're going to talk about 5 things everybody should expect from a professional realtor. Stick around, that's coming up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt here with the Matt Allen Real Estate Team. Hope you are having a great day today. I am, and I wanted to get straight into this one because I think it's extremely important. It's basically the things you need to expect when you're working with a professional realtor. And straight off the bat, number one on my list is communication. Communication is going to be the key to a smooth transaction, success with either selling a home or buying a home, and also to take away all the guesswork of, I wonder if I'm supposed to do this or what should I be doing with this. A realtor should be on top of things. If they are representing you as a buyer and you are in the process of buying a house, yet you're not under contract quite yet, there should be open communication as far as what your likes are. When are you going to go looking at houses? How is the financing coming along? All of those things should be pretty regular. And I'll go as specific as saying a couple times a week, you should at least be talking with your realtor if you are in the serious mode of looking at houses and finding something to buy. If you are listing your house with an agent, at least bare minimum once a week, getting a report on how the showings went, what they're doing for marketing, feedback on pricing, things like that. That has to constantly be done. And it's either a phone call, email, or text message, or a combination. You should be physically talking to your agent at least once a week by telephone. They should be giving you a call. And none of this should be you instigating. And that's very important to bring to light. The agent needs to reach out to you. You shouldn't be having to chase down an agent. So communication, number one on my list. I'm very passionate about that, obviously. Now, if you're in the Central Florida area and you are a buyer or you're not under a listing agreement as a seller, I am more than happy to talk to you. I've been in business since 2002. I have a lot of knowledge, and at very least, hit the like, subscribe button so you can check out these videos I put out pretty much on a weekly basis for the last few years. There's just a wealth of knowledge, and I'm trying to keep them shorter and shorter, so you don't have to be sitting on YouTube for 15 minutes or so. But number two on my list, once you have your financing in order, or if you're a cash buyer, your proof of funds and everything's together, the agent should give you a lot of availability to go show houses. If an agent's telling you, like, I can only show you a house one day out of the week, and it's only one time, and I'm only going to show you 2 houses, that's not really how this whole thing should be playing out. You should be able to say, look, I need to go look at a house within a certain period of time. Now, obviously, schedules are schedules and they need to marry up, but an agent should be able to give you 3 or 4 time slots or 3 or 4 days that they're available. And you should not feel pressured after the showings to make a decision on those houses. I see this over and over again. I'm going to show you 3 houses. It's the HGTV mentality where they say, okay, I'm going to show you 3 houses. You got to pick one at the end of the day, and we're going to start negotiating. No, that's not how it works. I have many customers that are spending, several months looking at houses, or at least several weeks, and they've got a good array to choose from. And the market is such that we have to make a decision fairly quickly. But if you're new to the real estate market, especially here in Central Florida, if you're moving from another state, that may take some time. So as long as everybody is on the same page, again, communication, you should be available or be able to look at a good array of houses. So that's number 2. Now, if you happen to be working with a team, either a small team or a large team, that's becoming very popular these days. I don't run my brokerage that way for my own personal reasons. But if you are working with a team make sure you are assigned at least one agent that is going to do the first two steps with you on a regular basis, communication and be available to show property. You also, and this is key, you need to have open access to the leader of that team. It shouldn't be a case where you never speak to the leader of the team. They should be communicating with you, maybe not as often as your lead agent, but you should have access to them to answer questions as well. That's their team, and there should be a certain responsibility for that. So keep that in mind. That's number 3. Now, this next one, I typically get a little bit of pushback from agents on because it's kind of a debatable subject. But to show ownership in your business, to show ownership and responsibility to your homeowner, I think as an agent, as a realtor, we need to be present for things like home inspections, through walkthroughs of the property. If you want to go back to the property and do measurements, I think the agent should be there to bring you back to do those things. That's all part of our responsibility as a realtor. I know some agents will argue liability for being at an inspection. I just don't agree, and I've not heard a good case for not being there. You learn so much about the house being there. You're also there to advocate for your buyer if for some reason they cannot make the inspection. I always encourage all of my buyers to be at inspections, to ask questions and learn how things operate, because soon enough they are going to be the owner of the house and there will be no one there to explain things. So it's a perfect opportunity. So walkthroughs, closings, they need to be at the closings. We give closing gifts. If it happens to be an in-title company closing, we like to celebrate. So we like to be there for that. Some agents prefer not to be there, and I disagree with that. So, it's all part of relationship building, and that's something that's very important to us. That's number 4 on my list. Here's the last one. As a buyer or a seller, it is okay not to be okay with something. If during the home inspection something is not right, I know the mentality right now is not to rock the seller's boat and just go along with everything until you sign and get the house. I am still not of that mentality. If you're not okay with something during a home inspection, we need to ask either to have it addressed or have it repaired or looked at or evaluated or something, whether it's a credit, whether it's a repair, and as far as appraisals, things like that, if it comes out low, we have to be okay with asking the seller to say, hey, look, this came out low. We need to address that. A lot of agents just don't want to rock the boat, so they just kind of brush it over and say, oh, let's just not worry about that until closing. But at the end of the day, it's going to be your house, so you want to make sure you're buying it, and there's some value to it. Home purchase is an investment, so it's something you definitely want to keep an eye on. As far as, are there going to be additional repairs and things that I'm going to incur that I didn't have any idea, the depth of what those repairs are. So very important. If you're not okay with something, your agent needs to advocate for you, whether it's going to rock the boat or not. And at the end of the day, if it does rock the boat, just be prepared, to come up with a new solution, whether it's going after another house or being okay with the fact that you asked and the seller's unwilling to do anything. So that's really important. Bonus time, you guys. Haven't done a bonus in a while. This is just kind of tying everything together. Your realtor is the quarterback. They need to be communicating with everybody that's on the field, whether it's the lender, the title company, making sure your escrow is in, make sure your timelines are correct. Everything needs to come from that realtor. Making sure that you get loan commitment in a appropriate amount of time. If you're on the selling side, making sure that the buyer has the escrow in on time. There's a lot of timing things that the agent absolutely needs to be on top of. So make sure that they're doing so. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have other thoughts or suggestions or questions about what an agent should be doing or realtor should be doing, drop them down below. I'm always happy to help. Thanks again, you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hey, are you interested in the latest as far as what's happening in the real estate market? Just click over here. Thanks.